So we're looking at 2 Timothy together, and last time I shared with you that Paul is writing this to his young protege, his son in the faith, and he's challenging him to be steadfast and to be faithful. This is Paul's last will and testament, if you would. It's the last thing that we know of that he wrote, certainly the last thing that he wrote that is inspired and included in the New Testament. So let's just look at the next two verses. 2 Timothy 1, verses 3 and 4, Paul says, I thank God whom I serve, as did my ancestors with a clear conscience, as I remember you constantly in my prayers night and day. As I remember your tears, I long to see you, that I may be filled with joy. Now, the last time we talked about the body, the church, and the importance of being together, the fact that we need each other and we have a responsibility to each other. But what I want you to see in these verses is that Paul actually goes a little bit further here with Timothy, and we see some real tenderness for Timothy as a person. In that verse, we see that Paul says, I'm remembering you constantly in my prayers night and day. Now, here's the challenge for us. What place do your brothers and sisters in Christ have in your heart? We're so wrapped up in our lives. We're so busy with everything that we've got going on. Do we even notice many of our brothers and sisters in Christ? Now, we look at 2 Timothy. Here we have the Apostle Paul. Now, presumably Paul, with all of his connections, all of his contacts, all of the things that God has called him to do, he has so many people that he knows, so many people that he has relationships with. But for Timothy, he says, you're in my heart. I hear you. I think about you every day, and I pray for you night and day. There's time, there's energy, there's passion, there's prayer for Timothy in his ministry. Let me ask you this. Do you pray for the people that you go to church with? Oh, I know, when I ask that, you probably say, oh, of course I pray for this person, that person. They're probably, I'm guessing, the people that you are very closely connected with. And that's great, the people that you click with, the people that you hang out with. But do you pray for the people who rub you the wrong way? Do you pray for the person that you see after church is over, sitting alone over to the side? Do you care about what's going on in their lives? Do you go over and introduce yourself? Do you sit down and say, is there some way I can help you? Can I pray with you? What's going on in your life? I believe it's our responsibility to love them and to care for them. My friends, we must pray for our brothers and sisters in Christ. God has put this body together, and we need each other.